Good afternoon. As was mentioned, I'm Congressman Tracey Mann. I represent the big 1st District of Kansas. Which, you think about Kansas, my district is the western 2/3 of the state, except for the Wichita area. We're the largest agriculture producing district in the country, so if you ate today, there's a good chance that some of those products came from our district. We're also the geographic center of the country, and my district would not look anything like Mike Lawler's district, though I would say that I agreed with every word that he said wholeheartedly, and it's an honor to serve with him. It's good to be here near the upper chamber. Mike and I serve in the lower chamber. We are running a very well-oiled, efficient machine over there right now, as you all are well aware, but it's good to be over here for just a little bit. Fantastic to see Congressman Wolf, big fan of yours from afar. I'm the Republican chair of the Hunger Caucus as well. I know for years you and Tony Hall did a lot of work in that space, and good to see you, Senator Nichols. My wife, I'm a big fan of yours as well. My wife is an Okie from Owasso, and my father-in-law played football for the Oklahoma Sooners, so we are all in Oklahoma as well. And lastly, I heard you mentioned Arlen Specter. So yesterday, my wife and I and our 4 kids, we were coming back from my twin sister's wedding. Long story, but we drove through Russell, Kansas, which is in my district. Russell's population 4,000 in the western plains of Kansas, home of Bob Dole, also the boyhood home of Arlen Specter, which a lot of people don't realize that Arlen Specter lived in Russell, Kansas, same town as Bob Dole before he later was a member of Congress from Pennsylvania. And Kansas, of course, is also a proud home of Sam Brownback as well, who's been very active in this space, has been a friend and mentor of mine over the years. So it's an honor to be with you all today and celebrate the 25th anniversary of the International Religious Freedom Act. It was fun to hear about how that act actually came together and got passed. Millions of people around the world today are suffering from religious persecution, which we know takes many forms. America does stand and should stand against religious persecution in all of its forms because religious freedom is a foundational value of this country. It inspired our founding fathers to step out in faith and launch the American experiment 247 years ago. And it inspires us today in Congress as we govern to consider this law. I think we should also acknowledge an attack on religious freedom for one person anywhere is an attack on religious freedom for all peoples everywhere. 25 years ago, the International Religious Freedom Act codified religious freedom into American foreign policy. The legislation stated in no uncertain terms that the United States of America will not sit idly by while people are persecuted, tortured, or killed for their religious beliefs. If a foreign government or entity is persecuting people for their religious beliefs, the International Religious Freedom Act empowers America to step up and respond forcefully. We will fight back on behalf of oppressed people. We will suspend aid, impose sanctions, and take steps to bring an end to all forms of religious persecution. Our country operates this way because we acknowledge God. We acknowledge that human rights themselves don't come from a king or from government. They come from God because he created us. In 1814, Francis Scott Key wrote a poem called The Star-Spangled Banner. We sing the first stanza, of course, of that poem as our national anthem. But here's the last stanza. Oh, thus be it ever when free men shall stand between their beloved homes and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us as a nation. Then conquer we must, for our cause it is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. On the world stage, America is synonymous with religious freedom, and for 25 years, the International Religious Freedom Act has strengthened our ability to stand up for what's right, condemn evil, stop religious persecution, and protect innocent lives. Thank you, Senators Nichols and Lieberman, who originally authored this in the Senate, and to Congressman Wolf for all your work for getting this passed 25 years ago. This is a perfect example of the kind of good work that we can do when we come together across the aisle and stand up for something that we all know is right. So thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Congressman.